Hello and welcome back to the channel. We continue our journey through the Val D'Orcia in Tuscany, visiting Montalcino, whose historic center is dominated by a fortress, to then move to San Quirico d'Orcia, situated in the most pure Tuscan landscape. And if you like our video, do not forget to like it, subscribe and activate notifications so that you know when we upload a new video. Montalcino is the home of Brunello, one of the most famous red wines in Italy. It is located in the heart of Tuscany, between Siena and the Grosseto. As for parking, you have a large paid parking, located next to the historic center of the city, and of which, as always, we leave you the location on Google Maps. We arrive in Montalcino by a road immersed in the most pure Tuscan landscape, enjoying the landscapes offered by the Val D'Orcia. Montalcino is of Etruscan origin and was free until Siena included it in its orbit in 1260, building its fortress. Near the parking lot, we arrive at the Duomo, the Concattedrale del Santissimo Salvatore, built in a neoclassic style, with its large columns above all, and which is barely 2 centuries old, since it was built between 1818 and 1832, on the Church of San Salvatore. Walking towards the center along the Via Spagni, we find the Church of Sant'Agostino. This church was built in the 14th century, and initially formed part of the Augustine monastery, hence its name. In the former convent of Sant'Agostino, from the 13th century, we find the Civic and Diocesan Museum of Sacred Art, where works of art from the Middle Ages to the 20th centuries are exhibited. Once we get to the center of Montalcino, what stands out most is the Palazzo dei Priori, located in Piazza del Popolo, and built between the 13th and 14th centuries, being adorned with the shields of the numerous podesta that ruled the city over the centuries. But what stands out most in Montalcino is its fortezza, a fortress also known as La Rocca, built from 1361 by the Sainzes, using in part the pre-existing walls of the 13th century, and that has a pentagonal shape, something different from the classic square structure of the fortresses. This bastion was the last reduction of the Republic of Siena, which fell into the hands of the Medici, who subsequently enlarged the fortress. And as always, if you have the opportunity, do not hesitate to get lost in the medieval streets of this beautiful city before your next visit to San Quirico d'Orcia. San Quirico d'Orcia has been a World Heritage Site since 2004 and is less known than other places in the Val D'Orcia, such as Pienza. However, its beautiful historic center within the walled enclosure will love you. As for parking, you will have no problem, as you have a large free parking located right next to the historic center, and of which we leave you the location in Google Maps. Very close to the parking lot, we find the Collegiata dei Santi Quirico e Giulitta, a Romanesque building, whose first records correspond to the 8th century. The church is built in Romanesque style and beautifully decorated inside. Next to the collegiate, we find the Palazzo Chigi, the seat of the village's municipality, and where there is also the Barbarossa Museum, where you can enjoy various exhibitions free of charge, while walking through the different rooms and corridors, beautifully decorated with frescoes. In addition, one of the rooms is dedicated to the Barbarossa festival, introducing the tourist to the history of the festival, the various neighborhoods, the competitions of banners and archers, vitrines with historical documents and newspapers from the year 1962, when this festival began to be held, which commemorates the meeting in 1155 between Emperor Frederick I, known as Barbarossa, and a delegation of cardinals sent by Pope Hadrian IV. The main street of San Quirico d'Orcia is the Via Dante Alighieri. But from the side of the Palazzo Chigi starts the Via Poliziano, a narrow street that also runs through the historic center, and by which we reach the Porta ai Cappuccini, from which we will have a beautiful panorama both of San Quirico d'Orcia and the surrounding landscape. We continue by the Via della Piazzola, which penetrates again into the historic center, passing by the side of the Chiesa di San Francesco, built in the 19th century on the remains of a convent, to another of the gates, the Porta Nuova, behind which we find the Horti Leonini, a beautiful garden, rhombus-shaped, designed between the 16th and 17th centuries, decorated with statues and surrounded by high walls. Following the Via Dante Alighieri, we arrive at the Chiesa di Santa Maria Assunta, next to which we find the entrance to a small garden, the Giardino del Rose, where you will find a little remnant of peace and tranquility, and where we end our visit. In the surroundings of San Quirico d'Orcia, you have several panoramic points, such as the Cappella della Madonna di Vitelletta, of which we leave you the location on Google Maps, and from which you will be able to admire the typical landscape of Tuscany, with its long rows of cypresses, its cultivated fields or the stone houses, which well deserve to be shaped in photography or in video. Very close, we found another point, from which we also left the location, and which will be familiar to those who have seen the film Gladiator, and that is no other than the house of Maximo Decimo Meridio, which was supposedly located in Emerita Augusta, in Spain, but that was shot in these beautiful landscapes.